Welcome back to Just a Podcast. My name is Nick, and this is a show where my friend Josh and I talk about movies, news, culture, and everything in between. In this episode, Josh and I are joined again by our friend Jaden to talk about the different types of music we heard growing up, our favorite up-and-coming artists, and our thoughts on new music that has recently come out, as well as Quentin Tarantino's 9th upcoming film.
Oh, I saw him. I saw him on the Brooklyn Sleeves in there.
Dude, the dude
he looks a lot like him. Yeah.
He's got the act down.
That being said, enjoy the show. Alright, and we're live.
Welcome back to the cast, Jaden.
Yeah.
We got the Hawaiian shirts. Who do you think's winning right now? I think mine's pretty strong.
I don't know. I mean, Josh is his Hawaiian shirt, but I just feel like
I really like it, actually.
I don't know.
Yeah, Batman kind of ruins it, bro.
Kind of deteriorates on the
Right
Hawaiian.
before we started this, you guys were complimenting it.
I didn't say anything. I mean, I still thought it was a pretty cool shirt, but I just like Batman, really? If it wasn't Batman and just the flowers, that'd be pretty dope.
Yeah, I mean, I have plenty of Hawaiian shirts, you know me, but like...
I'm gonna set the timer.
I like to save them for special occasions. So,
Like what?
a lot of times when I like going out in the town, you know, pick up Amelia for a nice date, I'll prefer to wear a nice flowy Hawaiian robe.
A robe?
Like Versace?
More or less. But, so, what are we talking about today, Nick?
Music and growing up.
So, you mean like...
Growing up with music.
So how
What music we grew up with?
Oh man, music walked out on me when I was just a boy. No, but yeah, it's interesting because like I know we all grew up on like different types of music. I'm not sure like what you grew up on.
I'm trying to remember what I grew up on right now.
You probably had to like find out yourself. I know your dad was like real into jazz and like he still is.
Yeah, bro. I remember in California, my aunt had like, whenever she like picked me up and we'd go somewhere, she'd always be playing Queen. Like I really like Another One Bites the Dust and all that.
So Queen, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I know that's more along your lines because that's just like the time frame you were.
I mean, my parents played anything from like I remember hearing some like Johnny Cash, like old Johnny Cash, like 60s and 50s, and ranging up to like 70s, 80s, or even 90s. I heard some Red Hot Chili Peppers. Cause,
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you and I, we were born in California. So, growing up there, I think that had to do with it. Because, you know, they're California. Like, that's every song is like California. That's like their whole thing, California.
Yeah.
So, my parents played that a lot. And then...
But it was like along the genre of like rock, right?
Well, it's like...
Or more or less.
I mean, I like, dude, everything. Like, because, I mean, I like soul. Like, yeah, I love like...
Marvin Gaye,
dude.
Al Green.
Yeah. Oh, man, dude, yeah. Like, so, all of that stuff. Pretty much... any kind of music that came out before like 2000 I've heard before, like all of that. And even now, I mean, I listen to, you know, current music too, like hip-hop and all the stuff that's big now, but I didn't really listen to any of it growing up. Like I was kind of raised with my parents not listening to it. I was like, oh, like, you know, it must not be good. And I think part of that for me is because I was raised very, very not strict, but to where like no one really like would say any cuss words or anything like that. So I never did any of that. So most hip hop and rap has quite a few cuss words in it. So
Biggie was off the tail.
So yeah, I didn't listen to any of that. And then it wasn't until I think 8th grade I listened to it was Childish Gambino. I heard Sweatpants.
Dude, that was probably my first song too.
Man, I heard that song.
Like, you saying that's like your first hip hop song?
No, my first hip hop.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what my first hip hop song.
Yeah.
Because I just remember like listening to Queen, and then my parents would always play Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I didn't know who they were. I just remembered Anthony Kiedis' voice, and then like later when I heard him, I was like, oh, like that's Red Hot Chili Peppers, and they had like all his discography.
So that was like your first hip hop song.
Oh yeah, I heard it, and that song is so cool. Like all the sounds, the sampling, like everything is so cool at that song. The music video, I remember I watched the music video over and over, and I listened to it over and over. I like knew all the words, like everything.
You're just a good artist, man.
And after that, I delved into the Gambino.
Gambino.
And I heard all his other stuff, and
he's still making like really good music. He's just like
so
gifted.
he was the one that started me, and then from there, from Gambino, I went to Tyler the Creator, and I listened to him back in like middle school, and they were the two only ones I kind of stayed on for a while.
That's when he was like an Odd Future, right?
Yeah, that was back in Odd Future when they were like big.
It was like 2013.
He only had his first album, the one that's all red. I know what it's called. I don't want to say the word. It's a bad word.
Is it Goblin?
No. Before that, his first album he released, it was called Bastard. And it was the one that kind of got him big. And then he did Goblin. And then after that, he did Wolf. And Wolf was the one I really liked. I liked a couple on Goblin and the other one, but Wolf was for me the first time where it was more so than just like just edgy rap, and it was more so like there's actually like musical composition in here, and that's what I really like. I can enjoy a good like banging rap song here and there, but I really appreciate the ones that have the musical like
kind of like what he did with Flower Boy.
Yeah, that's like
that's a lot like wait on
Who Dat Boy.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like that's why I think I like Childish Gambino, because his beats and stuff they're not just like like a little pump song or something like that. And plus their lyrics are pretty good too, and that's why I also like I went into J. Cole after that, because his lyrics are just
pretty good.
I forgot what the first song I heard from him. Oh, it was probably when did High for Hours come out? That was actually
that was a single. I think that was somewhere in between. I think he might have released it before or after For Your Eyes Only. It was around that time frame. I can't remember if that's
no, I heard it before then.
Before For Your Eyes?
No, the first song I probably heard was like, was it 14? No, that's the name of the album.
2014 Forest Hills Drive?
Yeah, it was like the main songs, like first things. It's like on the tip of my tongue.
Wet Dreams and...
No, Wet Dreams is the single.
I know. No, Wet Dreams is a song on that album. What's that? What's that song called? First things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. Yeah.
Well, I think that was the first song I heard. Anyways, it'll come to us.
Don't save her. She don't wanna be saved. Huh? Damn, what's that called,
bro? Just look it up right now. He's pulling
it up.
Oh, this is bad. No
role models. That's what it was. Damn,
it's pretty bad, man.
Yeah.
Yo, man, J. Cole.
Yeah, and that's like his most famous song.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. I think that was the first J. Cole album I heard, and after that, I listened to the one before. I forget what it was called. It was like Born Sinner or There was that one's really good too. Like,
is that the one that has like Fire Squad on it and all?
No, Fire
Squad
was 2014.
I like that song.
Yeah, and I also around that same time when I first started listening to like hip hop and stuff, that's when I started playing NBA 2K.
But it has some banger songs, bro.
And that's when I started like hearing more people. They had like Kanye was on there, 2 Chainz.
Dude, Kanye is a good artist.
I remember they had a 2K. They had a DJ Premier who picked out the soundtrack for that song. I can't remember. I think it was 16. But yeah, DJ Premier, he picked a good soundtrack for that whole game. And it was like a good mix too. It wasn't just hip hop, because like he's big on hip hop. I don't know if you knew this, but he used to have a friend. His name was Guru, and together they formed this like I guess duo called Gangstar back in the 90s, and they were like really good underground artists
before your time.
Yeah.
But I mean, going back more to like before middle school, like my childhood, like I actually have memories, and I think this might be why people have those things where when wife's pregnant, they like put music and it like plays it to the baby when it's in there. I don't know if that does anything. People do that for some reason.
Like they get headphones and then
that doesn't do anything.
Some people think it makes them smarter if you play like Beethoven or something. I don't know. But all I know is when I was young, my parents didn't do that to my knowledge. But when I was in like crib, like months old, like a year old, still really young, I legitimately have actual memories because of the music. I remember hearing my dad play guitar with a lot of songs because he plays guitar, and that's why I wanted to play guitar. But I would hear songs, but the ones I really remember is ELO, like Electric Light Orchestra. My mom would always play Mr. Blue Sky and Don't Bring Me Down. Those songs, I remember hearing them, and they sounded so, like the harmonizing and like everything was
like
so
really vivid.
I remember like I can literally see myself. I don't know if it's just my mind playing tricks on me, but I feel
like when you hear the song, it takes you back.
I can remember being.
I can't remember when I was 3.
I can remember being in a crib, hearing it, and like jumping up and down. And what's weird is we actually have home videos of them playing the songs and me like doing that stuff.
And you remember like
I swear I remember it. I remember seeing it through my eyes. There was one also where I remember there was music playing, and I remember I was crawling around. Mm-hmm. I could see it. I'm low to the ground. I remember looking back, seeing my mom, and she's like following me, make sure I don't go anywhere I'm not supposed to. And I remember I knew my dad was in this one room because he was still finishing up like his second degree or something for college, and I remember he had gone into his office to finish working on something. And I remember wanting to open the door because I wanted to go in there because he would always play guitar, and I wanted him to play the guitar with the music. And I remember I couldn't open the door. I remember just like trying to like hit it open, and I remember looking at it. I remember being really annoyed, and it wouldn't open. And then finally my mom picked me up, and she walked in, and then I remember that. I think that's my first memory, and I think it's because of music. I think it really takes me back.
That's crazy.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah, for me, I kind of grew up like, I don't know, I grew up on completely different music compared to Josh. My dad, like, when I was young, my dad at the time, he was like still listening to his hip hop because he was born in 71, and like the first hip hop song he ever heard was Rapper's Delight.
That's where it began, bro.
Yeah. So ever since then, my dad was like always listening to hip hop, and he got into like he became a DJ in the 90s. And I remember when I was young, he'd always have his cousin and his brother over, and they had their own little group. They were called like the Underdog Turntablists, something like that. And I remember they would always be like on the breaks. They were always like doing some crazy stuff on the turntables. And the first song I ever remember, the first hip hop song I ever heard, the first song I ever remember hearing, was the song called "Ready or Not" by the Fugees. Yeah, I don't know if you've heard it, but it was just like, I just remember clearly my dad was like playing on a speaker, and I remember that song, and it was just
I think I know what you were talking about, like "Ready on That."
Here I come. Yeah, with Lauryn Hill. Yeah, that's and ever since like that, I remember I just grew up listening to like hip hop strictly, like Nas, Biggie Smalls. There's a lot that came from the 80s. A lot of people don't know about, like Slick Rick, Dougie Fresh, and that's like all I would listen to in middle school and a lot during high school. And I don't know, I would just discover more and more artists from the 90s and the 80s, but then also like that hip hop, like it transferred into like me listening to modern day stuff, you know, like J. Cole and other rappers. Kendrick, I know he's pretty good. He's really good. And yeah, that's like, but even from hip hop, like I branched off into like different genres such as soul, like R&B and jazz. Like those three I really love, because if you listen to hip hop, you could find that there are samples from like soul songs or samples from jazz songs, and I don't know, they like I feel like
they're always like reversing. Like,
that's why I really love listening to a song, and whenever I can hear something, I'm like, oh, that sounds like this. And then I look it up, and it is.
Yeah, like there's one song from this guy named Mos Def. It's called Miss Fat Booty. It's a funny name, but it's a really good song. And in the back, there's a sample to it that comes from this like old '70s singer Aretha Franklin. You know?
Dude.
It was One Step, and so you hear it playing throughout the whole song, and it's. I don't know, you see that a lot, even in hip hop nowadays. Like they sample stuff from all of these.
A lot.
Bro, Kanye samples a lot. If you like reverse, like look up his stuff.
Dude, oh man, Kanye's what was the one? It came out a couple years back.
The one
with the like orange cover.
Oh, the Life of Pablo.
Dude, I actually really like that album.
Really?
Yeah, it's really cool.
A lot of people kind of were hating on it when it first came out, and I actually, oh man, it's actually very good. There's a lot of samples on that one. Like that album in particular is really good. Like the one song, my favorite song on that album is the one of him and Kendrick. It's oh man, what's it called? I can't remember. But there's the whole song, the whole beat is based on a sample from an old song. Like, hold on, I'm gonna look up what it's called. If you guys can keep discussing
the sample or the song.
The sample itself, it's made by like like this one dude who makes really good beats, and he's known for sampling, and yeah, dude, it's really
I never really liked most of Kanye's modern stuff. Anything from like early 2000s and like into the 90s.
You didn't
from Kanye.
like it?
Huh?
You didn't like it?
Well, like, I don't know, modern day Kanye, like, I've never really listened to. I don't want to say, like, I'm not a fan of modern day Kanye because I just don't listen to him. But, like, a lot of his old stuff, like College Dropout.
Yeah, that's the stuff I listen to.
His old stuff I thought was really good.
Yeah, I think The Life of Pablo was his last album that was actually really, like, Kanye-ish. There's a couple on that album that are kind of like, I don't
I miss
like.
the old
Yeah, like, that song I don't like. It's very... it's just like, why?
Scoop diddy woo.
That's bars.
That's bars.
The song No More Parties in LA, dude.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's like the best song on the album. I don't know why it didn't get like more radio play or more like it's the best one up to me. It's got Kendrick on it, and the whole intro, like even on Genius, it says the intro is Johnny Guitar Watson and Junie Morrison. It's from the Junie Morrison. That's the song that's sampled, and then
was like the long riff, like
it's the one that's like la di da da da, and then it's like let me tell ya I'm out here. That one, you ever heard that one?
Yeah.
That one.
He had Ghostface Killah on the track?
I guess so.
That's
Shake
crazy.
That Body. Oh yeah, they sampled them too. That one part was like Shake That Body Party. That part's a sample.
Y'all sleeping on me,
It's
huh?
it's a sample. He didn't have them actually come in, but
I think Ghostface Killah
the whole song is like, the beat is just like, oh my god, it's this big sample. It's really good, man. I love that one. But
I know you used to bump that a lot when it first came out.
yeah, that was one of my favorite ones. But since then, I haven't really liked much of what Kanye's done. I haven't really liked much of anything any rapper or hip artist has done. I've been on the lowdown on current artists, current music for like the past 4 years.
It's like it's really oversaturated right now, honestly.
No, I really don't like it, dude. Like when Migos first came out, everyone was like hype on them.
Oh god, bro.
They got so old for me so fast.
There's no context.
For me, I got really old.
It's like ice.
Every single song is the same thing to me.
For like that type of music, I see what you're coming from. Like, it's not like a type of music that I'm gonna like vouch for. But like, if I'm trying to get hyped, then I don't know, those songs that are like bumping, like
put on
modern
better
day stuff. I'll like listen to it, but I have to
that-
be in like the right mood.
For me, I think it's kind of a dumb concept. I think it's dumb to be like, oh, like it's not music that's supposed to be good. It's supposed to be like hype music. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
shouldn't all music be good? You know, I mean, I get people have different opinions on music and different things they enjoy.
I
But
guess it's like,
I mean, I don't dislike them. I like some of their songs, but nowadays, if I'm listening on shuffle and something comes up, I'm probably gonna skip it.
I was gonna say, like, I think it's good in the fact that like it can like get people going. Like,
No,
you
yeah,
get
I
something
understand
like
that.
But like if you're looking
When
at
it
it
first
musically,
came out, when it first came out, I enjoyed it. I was like, oh man, but then it got so old for me. And then like all their albums from there sounded the same.
Dude,
Same thing, and then almost every song is the same thing nowadays. People are rapping about like girls and money and it's all this stuff. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And
it's really repetitive, bro.
I don't enjoy
like,
it all.
from a musical standpoint, as far as like
I mean, if the music
the
part's
beat
good,
and like the lyrics, it can seem repetitive and almost seems like it lacks talent.
yeah.
But like if you look at other artists, like I know Kendrick tries to keep his stuff like not too mainstream.
Yeah, they do too. Yeah, if they see him like Kendrick, J. Cole. There's a couple out there that do their own thing, and I really enjoy that. And that's why I've never really liked most of the music from a lot of the newer artists, like Lil Yachty, like Lil Bo,
Cardi B, City Girls.
See, personally, I don't really like him that much. Like there might be a song or two when you first hear it, you're like, oh, that's catchy. Like, and most of them come from like memes though nowadays.
Yeah, that's how they get popularized.
Like Lil Yachty, his first song, like the One Night song, it was from that meme. Remember, there was a meme that came out, and the dude was like, and it's just like, I just want you for the night. Like, you know what I mean?
I can't.
There was a meme. I'll show it up after the podcast. There was a dude, and it was a guy, and he was just like mouthing it, and he was like playing both roles, like the girl and the guy, and it was just kind of making fun of like the lyrics, because the girl was just like it's like, I know you want this for life, and like all this stuff, but then it's just like, I just want you for life, and then he like did that, and then the girl was like she was like, what the heck? It was a meme, and I saw that before I knew who the guy was, and then he comes out and makes his first album. I tried listening to it.
That's kind of like the same with Old Town Road. Like,
yeah, Old Town Road just came out.
I'm sure some people might have known who Lil Nas was, but like he didn't come popular until it was a meme.
A lot of people become memes, and then they
become popular. Like Boy West Coast. You was at the club.
Bro, he was making music before the memes, though. I know, he didn't blow up because of the meme. I know he did, but
he blew up because of the meme.
But he wasn't. There's few people that I actually enjoy all of their songs. They might be. Excuse me. There's a lot that are. They have like one song that I'm like, oh, this is actually good, and then the rest of their stuff is very generic.
Yeah, like on my Spotify, I have like one artist, and it's just like one song saved. Yeah. That's all I list.
Like Lil Uzi. A lot of people like him. I like maybe a couple songs. I'm not hating on him. I know he's popular. He's probably one of the more talented of the ones that are
of the trap artists.
He's one of the more a little bit more. But even then, like a lot of them kind of sound the same. There's like one or two that like the lyrics are a little bit different. They're not the same thing. The beat doesn't sound generic, but at the same time, like it's just like I prefer the type of stuff that I could tell that there was a lot of time put into the actual composition.
But there's actual talent.
Like that's why I really like Tyler the Creator, Childish Gambino, J. Cole, a lot of them because they also produce their own music. And that's when they go in and they sit down at a piano and because a lot of Tyler Creator's Flower Boy songs and all of his songs really like people don't know this. Like he goes down, he plays the piano, and there's acoustic versions of it you can look up online. He's playing the piano to it, and that's what he goes in and does. A lot of them go in and
J. Cole. J. Cole.
They go in, they do the same thing, and then they make it from there, and then they make it into what it becomes. And that's when I think there's more talent behind it. Yeah. Instead of just like, oh, like let me buy like this one dude's track. And like,
he like buys the beat. Like, because then they'll do that, but then they might have a ghostwriter, or they might just come up with simple lyrics.
Yeah. So see, that's why for me, I haven't listened to a lot of songs recently. I haven't listened to Logic's new album, but Logic, I ain't even hating on Logic. Like I liked his first album or two.
Under Pressure.
Under Pressure I remember I heard that back when it first came out, and I brought it home because I was actually up in Dallas. I heard it up there. And I came back down. I played it for like Elijah, Cody, and then Steven. And none of them knew who he was. I remember. I remember being like, "Oh yeah!" Like, when you got the aux and you play something, and everyone's just like,
"Who is this dude?"
Yeah. I played it. Dude, they were like, "Hey, like okay," and they're like, "Oh, who's this?" And I was like, "Oh, it's Logic, bro." And that was like before all he became mainstream, dude. I remember back then that was the Logic I really liked, and that whole album is really good. Under Pressure, and then. His next one, the
Incredible True Story.
That one's pretty good too. And I honestly, I don't even think I haven't finished listening to Everybody.
I think that was like one of his last good ones because I went to the concert for that, and like he has a really hype concert, dude. Like
I was gonna go to the Incredible True Story.
Yeah,
I had like the tickets ready to buy, but I think whoever I was gonna go with canceled. I think it was Cody or Elijah. Dang. And they were like, nah, and I was like, I don't want to go by myself. So
well, what's weird? I don't know. Like I listened to Under Pressure. But, like, I haven't been a true fan of him. Like, I always thought his songs were, like, kind of good. But what I realized that when I listen to his songs from, like, Under Pressure, then listen to the songs from, like, recent albums.
It changes.
I feel like there was not much change within Logic.
I mean, I honestly feel like I think the beats that he made back then were better. Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of the ones now, they sound more...
They're more synthy. They're more...
Yeah, that too.
I don't know.
But besides Logic, other people that have dropped albums I probably haven't listened to, like Astroworld when that came out.
Have you listened to it?
No.
Travis Scott.
I don't like Travis Scott that much. Yeah. I mean, he has like a couple. I've heard like the ones that are popular in the radio play, like obviously the Sicko Mode one, which it became a meme.
That gets me hyped still.
It became a meme.
I thought it was good until it became a meme and so many people were listening to it.
If it didn't become a meme, I'd probably like it more than I do. But since it became a meme...
It was like one of those songs that white boys only play.
Yeah.
You want to hear Sicko Mode?
Yeah. Frat boys.
Mobamba. It's like, oh, Mobamba or Sicko Mode.
Yeah. Because when I first heard Sicko Mode, I was like, bro, this goes in. But then and then it became a fucking meme. I was like,
So I don't think I've actually... The actual song, I don't think I've listened to the whole thing start to finish. I think I've heard it, but I don't think I've listened to it start to finish because I heard like meme ones first.
Yeah,
like the Animal Crossing
like
one.
A light.
Whale. That was so good. But I mean, besides that song, he also has like his album before the Cowboy one or whatever.
Bro, I think that's one of the what happened with my musical influences. Like I went. Yeah, I'm not sure like of his whole discography, but when I moved from like California to Texas in 2005, I like met Marco, and like we'd hang out after school and stuff, and he would listen to like a lot of rap music, I guess, because like his parents influenced him. And so like I was like, oh, this is some pretty cool music and all that. And
his
then
parents listen to hip hop.
I'm not
I see
sure.
his dad, he listens to that Colombiano music. Yeah, like
that's when they were like cleaning
Hector
outside and
Lavoe.
stuff. Hector Lavoe.
Yeah.
No, but like I think by like 8th grade I like bought a Spotify subscription and all that, and I just started listening to like so much stuff, and I've always had it since now.
Yeah.
And I guess that's like with a lot of people, is like they're not like, oh, I'm strictly hip hop. Like everyone listens to a wide range of things. It's just like where you fall in the spectrum specifically.
I've realized that like ever since the beginning of high school, when I was like listening to like strictly like hip hop, like old school, ever since then I've branched out to like everything. So like I listen to reggae, I listen to soul, you know, I love jazz. Jazz is one of my favorite genres. R&B, sometimes rock, but it's not too much.
I like the good songs like Beastie Boys.
The thing,
Yeah.
I like now it's whenever, when was it? It was like, I think probably freshman year for us around that time, I think, or like the year after, somewhere around there. It became cool to like listen to classic music, like stuff like whether it be soul, rock, or whatever. Like as long as it was classic stuff, people were like doing like, oh yeah, I listen to like Pink Floyd, yeah, like anybody that
Like
was
My
old,
Chemical Romance.
people were like all on that, and I hated when that happened because before I listened to hip hop and all that stuff, that's all I listened to, and I got bullied so much
Just for listening to old stuff.
Yeah,
Because you actually listened.
dude, I got bullied because people would be like, oh, like what do you listen to? And I'd be like, oh, like the Beatles or something like that, and they'd be like, who? And then
Yeah,
I was
I don't know
like,
what that is.
isn't that an old band? And I was like, yeah, and I would like give it to them, and they'd be like, bro, like nah, dude, I don't listen to that. Like I listen to Shakira, and I'm just be like, okay. And then like I legitimately got bullied. Like I remember, I have memories like 6th grade, 7th grade, 5th grade, 4th grade, dude. Even back in elementary, dude. I remember people.
I feel you on
people
that.
were
Yeah,
on
It's
me,
annoying,
man.
bro.
because like I know.
I used to sit, and I remember this because I got bullied on the bus. I used to actually turn my music down low when people would walk by me, so people wouldn't hear it like louder. Because I'd be like, "Oh man, I don't want to deal with it."
It's annoying, bro.
No,
And then
yeah.
as soon as like I think it was around the time Guardians 1 came out, because
That became like
and then all those songs. I was when that movie came out. I
dude.
was
You
like,
knew the
dude,
song.
Those
I
were
was like,
overplayed, right?
Now they are, and I was like, dude, I love these songs. And then everyone started listening to them. Everybody was like, yo, I've loved this band. Like,
Bro,
I've been on this
bandwagon,
band.
bro.
And
Yeah.
oh, I hated it, man, because then everybody was like,
Who they have on there? They had like Jackson 5 on there.
Jackson
they had,
5's on there.
Jackson 5.
What was that opening song?
"Come and Get Your Love" by
yeah.
Redbone.
Mm-hmm. Dude, and then oh man, see,
No, yeah. I definitely feel you on that because like I know there's a lot of people who don't listen to like the old stuff that I like used to listen to. I mean, I still listen to it now, but like I can't like blast it when there's like a group of people because it's like, oh man, like this old stuff. Like we went on that new wave, and I don't know, like people just don't listen to like old hip hop. So trying to like relate to people on that level is kind of hard. I know Christian does, and I don't know I get some good conversations with him, just like talk about that old stuff. But I remember I wouldn't even like show people what I was listening to because they'd be like, bro, that shit's old. Like it's whack. So like I wouldn't even show anybody.
yeah, I feel you on that, dude. Yeah, see, look, like all of it, dude. I looked up like music that's been released so far this year, and
I don't even know some of those.
yeah,
people.
I don't know some of these people.
Who is it?
Like Jenny Lewis,
It's like country singer.
2 Chainz. I didn't know he even released an album.
Yeah.
William Tyler. This actually looks like an interesting cover. I don't know what that is.
What kind of music?
Vampire Weekend. I've heard of them, but I don't know. I don't think I've ever.
That's from a long time ago.
Jessica Pratt.
Was that like Chris Pratt's wife or daughter or something?
We got
She's making
Sharon
music.
Van Etten. I know who she is. I haven't listened to this. How do you pronounce
Kehlani.
it? Kehlani.
Is she kind of like a
I think I've heard it.
Gene Aiko vibe?
Yeah, she's like
She is
that.
R&B.
Oh, I like Janae
I think
Aiko.
she's the one that dated Kyrie.
Really?
I think it was her. Kehlani.
I didn't even know that Kyrie was dating, bro.
No, he ain't no more. They broke up.
Oh dang! Who would want to date someone
See, I don't
who's
even know
like
who this
believes
is.
Earth
I'm
is
not-
flat? Like, right?
Oh man, yeah. See all this stuff like Schoolboy Q. I listened to Schoolboy Q back in the
and
day.
then there's like I know a lot of people have been getting into like that new girl Billie Eilish, and I've like listened.
Billie Eilish.
Yeah, I've listened to a couple of her songs, and I just don't find it like too appealing.
It's very slow. And,
Yeah.
It's a different vibe.
I don't like her newest song.
I listen to most. We can talk about. Hold that thought there, because the camera about to run out. So Billie Eilish.
Eyelash, yeah.
I think the first song I heard from her was.
Ocean Eyes.
This is gonna sound stupid, but no. It was the 13 Reasons Why like soundtrack.
She was.
Alright, we're gonna have to start over now. No, just kidding.
Just edit that out and post it.
It's so easy. No, that song "Bored." You know, it's like
Dude,
not like
I have not listened. I've listened to 2 of her songs, not even fully all the way through.
Yeah,
but no, I heard that first, and I forgot what that album was even called. Then I listened to
Is it
Ocean
like the
Eyes.
one where she's sitting on the bed and her eyes are like black?
No, that's her newer one. It's like, where do we go?
That's a weird album cover.
She's like,
yeah, she looks freaking crazy.
she's kind of annoying. I mean, like, she's just being herself. Like, every Instagram pic's like,
I think from what I heard,
she's half asleep.
I think I saw on Twitter there was a post that was just like, "Congrats, like Billie Eilish for being 17 and making it to like Coachella." So I think she's like really young.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah,
So, she's like a year or 2 younger than us, and she's like already big.
I don't know. It's not. I don't know. I haven't listened to her, but I feel like that's not really my cup of tea on music, like that genre.
yeah. She's evolved her style. I mean, like from my perspective, because it's
Do you actually listen to her?
Like some of her songs, I don't like actively listen, but like if she releases something, I'll listen to it like once or twice.
Yeah, I feel you. A lot of music I just really don't like nowadays. Like there's
Modern, yeah.
There's like it's not even people. Whenever I hate on songs, people think it's because they're like, oh, well, like it's because you're
like stuck in the past
to old music that you don't like new music. That's not even it, dude. It's just like I know when a song is good or bad.
Yeah.
There's a lot of songs that are bad, like Cardi B's like stuff, dude. Like at the end of the day, I can get how it's hype and stuff like that. Like the music, I get how the music catchy. But when I listen to the lyrics, dude,
it's just like people consider this talent. Like,
I don't like it, and I really dislike whenever someone puts it on. They're like, oh, and I'm just like,
City Girls, like big Birkin bag.
Oh, is that what that song is?
Yeah.
Is that realized?
Lil Yachty wrote that song.
Yeah, he wrote it. There was actually a meme. It was just like dudes when they like find out Lil Yachty wrote City Girls song. They're all bumping.
All these songs became a meme, dude. Like, that's the only reason why a lot of songs get big.
Have you heard people like been calling like a lot of new artists that are up and coming, like especially Billie Eilish, like industry plants? Like that term was like
they've been planted into the industry.
Yeah, like that term is new to me, but I think it's like a new artist that's like up and coming, and they're just like put there to blow up and like just like sign to a record. Is Khalid? How would you identify?
I remember he came out like 2016. Yeah, he came out 2016 because that's when American Teen came out.
Yeah, and, bro, you were on that.
He graduated. Khalid graduated the same year Cardona did, which was in 2017. And like I remember, I had never heard of him, and then I actually saw a post from Emily. She posted on Twitter. It was a screenshot of one of his songs. I was like, oh, let me take a look at this guy. Yeah, and I think the song was, it was like his most popular one, Location. And I listened, I was like, dude, like this guy's good. And that was the only album that was released on Apple Music. He had like a couple singles before, like Reasons, and like he just blew up out of nowhere. Like he really didn't have any build up from what I saw. Like it was just he just.
I mean, sometimes it happens. Sometimes industries like just like put them on.
Yeah, he's a good artist. Like I mean, I like his music.
Yeah, he is a good singer.
What would you think about Khalid? Like, what do you?
I think I've listened to him. Mm-hmm. I do think he's much better than a lot of other people. See, if there's people like that are making it like big in the industry, like I want anything other than what we're getting right now. It's so the same, like you said, it's oversaturated. It's the same thing, and it's been like that for so long. I want anything else, and that was a really good like breath of fresh air. And who's that one guy you showed me? I really like him. He's like Sam Cooke. He's Sam Cooke vibe.
Oh, Leon Bridges.
Dude, he's really good.
He
just dropped a new album a couple months back.
He did. Yeah. Oh yeah. What was it?
I forgot what it's called, but his first one is really good.
That one came out like in 2016, and it had that like old vibe.
See, I like stuff like that because it's new and it's different. Like he puts his own stuff on. It's very classical, but it's also very. It's just a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. It is.
Like I want anything like that doesn't sound the same as everything else.
His newest album though, I was watching an interview on him, but if you listen to it, like it's a bit more modern, but it's not like
it's still not like
it's not completely modern, but I remember in the interview he's just like like I can do all that old stuff, which was like the first album, but I want people to like know that I can do newer stuff, more modern stuff.
Yeah.
And he's a really good artist. Y'all should go check out Leon Bridges.
Link in bio.
Yeah, link in the bio.
You promote his
Link
stuff.
down in the description. No, but yeah, he's I don't know if you've ever heard him, but Leon
No.
Bridges is a good one.
You might have. I played one of his songs for you before. I think if I played, but oh yeah, I heard this song.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, before we move on from this topic, I don't know about you guys. I at least recently, I really don't like Ariana Grande and her music.
I never really cared for that area of music.
I thought it was pretty cool.
I don't like her newer stuff. It's very.
What is it? Does she like fall under the genre of like pop?
She's starting to do that. She's starting like her. What are her latest songs, dude? Like.
What? Which one? I listened to the album, bro. Just hit.
Oh, you listened to it?
You listened to the album?
I listened to part of Sweetener, and then what's the newest
not
one
more
called?
so Sweetener.
Thank You Next.
That one. That one's so forced. Like everything in it.
What do you mean?
Like, what's the song? Dude, I don't even know the songs.
Bro, I got you. Is NASA? There's Bad ID.
This dude knows it.
It's not even like the music. It's more so like the way she's singing. Like how one song she kept saying yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I think it is. I mean, that's a lot of them actually.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. She started doing that, and I don't know why she's doing that. She's got a good voice.
She's starting to use like these trap beat. You know, like that famous song like Seven Rings.
I don't like that song.
Did she do a collab with like a rapper recently?
Dude, I hate all this stuff. I hate when people that are like singers try to do something like that.
Yeah.
And it's so forced. Mm-hmm. And the thing, I think I wouldn't dislike it as much if it wasn't for like her fan base, because on Twitter and stuff, dude, these people are like.
She does have a good voice.
She does. Dude. Like,
You're talking about like her fan base is like toxic.
Her fan base is toxic as crap.
Really?
You know what's annoying, dude? Is like you know, her and Pete Davidson like broke up, and then she's like she tweeted "Thank You Next," and now this music album came out. Like that was her way of like coping with it by just making music, and like Pete Davidson was like interviewing. I think on SNL he like made jokes about it, and everyone like shitted him on it. It's like, dude, he's a comedian. Like that's his outlet.
That's his job.
Dude.
And, she has a good voice, and she could be making music like Adele or Sam Smith or Ed Sheeran, because they have good voices and they make pretty good music.
I don't know, dude. She's going like on a route where
it might be just a phase. I don't
know, man. I don't like it. I think it's too hip hoppy for me for her, and I hate when you look at the lyrics and you see like 50
like Lil Uzi.
Like, yeah. Like,
as bars, bro.
I hate it. Oh man.
Have you guys ever heard of Brockhampton?
I have heard of
Brockhampton.
Dude, I started listening. I forgot how I found them. Dude, a lot of the artists I find is like on my Spotify radio, because like they update that, so I'm just like, oh, this song's pretty cool, and then I click on it, the album, and I just go through the whole discography.
What kind of music is he?
So Brockhampton's like, it's like a collective of like 10 plus like guys, like producers, like art. It's pretty much like a media company, but like it's also their artist name, and they really
like a band.
Yeah, it's like a boy band, but it's really cool. They have like their members are like really diverse and from different backgrounds. You should listen to their songs, dude. They had they put out like 3 albums. Was it last year, 2017?
I mean,
they had this thing called like the Saturation Trilogy, so like 1, 2, and 3, and I don't know, it's really cool. They have like Childish Gambino kind of beats with, like, I don't know, their producer is like really cool. I really like it, dude. You should go check them out.
The real question is, do y'all listen to K-pop?
I tried to get in. I listened to one song. I was like, nope. Because my friend Trey, he was like, bro, listen to it. And I was like, okay. And I threw my phone.
It's big right now, man.
There's one song, like,
it's big in America right now.
Do you want that BTS wave?
No, there's one song from
I know
BTS,
who they are, but no.
like from the whole K-pop genre that I actually like.
For real?
Yeah, it's called like Save Me, I think, and that's like the only.
But they sing in
Korean,
right?
Asian?
They
Korean or American?
I almost said that, bro. I almost said it.
They go back and forth. So the song "Save Me," they like open up with Korean, but then there are also other lyrics within the song that are English.
It's like an anime intro.
I probably won't listen to it. I'm being honest. No hate, just
bro. In the description, I'll put our top like 3 artists we want y'all to check out.
Oh, our top 3 artists.
Yeah,
that's really hard.
You want to do that right now? Let's start with you, Nick. It's your idea. Let's see. What's your top 3 right
of all time?
Of all time?
No, not of all. Just
right
someone you want to check out.
Okay, so
not that much pressure, bro.
Okay,
yeah.
go, Nick. Go.
So like, I'll put Brockhampton down in the description. Go check them out. They have really cool music videos too, dude.
this list.
Dang, I don't know who I want people to check
Just
out.
one artist.
So
Just
current
someone new that you just checked out. Don't be like, go check out J.
New?
Cole.
Okay, well, this person's not relatively new, but I've been listening to like the Islander music. But Kolohe Kai, he's from Hawaii, so go check him out. He has a good like summer vibe to him.
Yeah, you listen to what's the name of that guy? John is it John Johnson?
Oh, Jack Johnson?
Jack
The Curious George dude? Yeah, I used to a lot, but like, I don't know, I've been listening to artists from actual, like the islands, like Tahiti and Hawaii. There's this one guy named Clint Mariteragi, something like that. But yeah, he sings in Tahitian, I think. But Kolohe Kai, they're a good band, and I like them. They make a reggae type islander music.
That's fire, bro.
What about you? Who would you recommend?
Y'all heard of he's up and coming, Backpack Kid?
The Backpack Kid.
Bro, that Flossin' song was revolutionary, bro.
I mean, okay, let me think about this.
I'm like looking through
If we're doing top 3, I just took a glance at my Spotify because I have some people on there that I enjoy that have pretty good music that I'm not very well known, but most of them are like, they put them under the. This is one thing I've always wondered. Actually, we can talk about this real quick. What is the genre alternative? I think it's very.
I was in the alternative for like a month or so.
Well,
you could alternative.
Alternative is like
I listen to alternative, and sometimes it sounds more like it's kind of out there. So like, okay, let's just put it here.
The way I think of
some of it sounds more like rock, and then some of it sounds more like.
I think it's a mix of like
mellow,
like rock and like electronic.
I got a playlist.
I don't know, man. I think it's a good
because
like
that would
Arctic
be just
Monkeys.
electronica.
That is true.
See, because that's what I've always wondered. Because
yeah, alternative
a lot of
is
these,
just different.
Every single band or like person I'm about to name is under that, but I disagree. I think one of them could be under like.
What do you think? Because like I went through like an alternative kind of phase. I think of like Foster the People, like Weezer, Gorillaz for sure.
Well, yeah, that's what when I think of alternative, I think of Gorillaz, like Weezer. That's
I just think of like.
But for me, like the Arctic Monkeys are labeled under there, so are like Cage the Elephant, the Black Keys. But for me, like especially the Black Keys, they're more like structured rock to me. Like they have keyboard stuff.
So it's kind of like punk rock.
No, I would say they're more like, dude, they sound very like 90s to me, and 90s rock or like early 2000s rock. Like it doesn't sound like like old rock and no. That's like metal.
Okay.
It's different genre.
Okay, so different subgenre.
Subgenre of rock. But
so is that what?
Oh, it's prog rock is what it's called when it's like more focused on like the musical composition than the lyrics. I don't know. I studied this like in one of my classes, right? I might be wrong.
Well, could an alternative be kind of like metal, like a subgenre to rock?
I guess it could be, but like for me,
there's a lot of stuff.
I feel like they label so many people under alternative that it's kind of like
it's really easy to just throw 21 Pilots alternative.
Yeah.
Like,
see, but like for me, I mean, so I really like this group. They're not as well known. They're called Mild High Club. If you want to check them out, they're very mellow.
Is that your band? I'll put it in the description.
No. Yeah, put that one in the description.
Mild High Club. They're very good. They're under alternative. They're very. It's very. Oh man, I don't even know how to describe it. You'd have to listen to it. It really gets me in a good mood.
What could you like relate them to? Relate them to a song or a band, to the best of your abilities.
Dude, they're like their own thing.
It's different.
It's not different to the sense where you'd be like, man, what is this?
Yeah,
it's like it's a concept.
It's like a funky kind of.
They are kind of funky.
That's what I feel like for Brockhampton. Like I couldn't place them anywhere because
Brockhampton, the one that has the album cover of like the black guy coming out of the water. Is that someone else? I'm thinking.
Is that Sheck West?
Sheck West,
bro. Did y'all listen to that Sheck West album when it came out? It was kind of good. Y'all didn't.
The one on Spotify.
Let me
not Spotify. He released something.
Let me
on
look
SoundCloud.
up Brockhampton,
I know he
bro.
released something on SoundCloud.
I'll tell you their most popular song, and let me know if y'all heard. Yeah, I really feel like y'all wouldn't know. Yeah, their latest album is called Iridescence, and like what happened is one of their members got kicked out.
Really?
Because like they stand for they really like stand for this like I wouldn't say like a minority of like people, but like for like people that like feel like they're rejected and stuff and not good enough.
They're a boy band.
Yeah, I really want to play it, but like YouTube's gonna be a bitch, bro. They always copy strike.
Yeah.
No, but
It used to be where you could play 30 seconds or below of the song, and it could be fair use.
Bro, we can go on a whole thing of copyright, but I don't know.
I mean, we might already get copy strike or copy something.
Just for humming it?
No.
Are you kidding?
No, because we've said the lyrics to songs before. We've been like I was like, oh, the one that's like. Dun, 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 dun.
I mean, we wouldn't even monetize these. So
the beginning,
they're not gonna get
That's
anything.
true. Who cares? Now at the beginning, Jaden was just like, "You was at the club."
Yeah, he's gonna find Boy West.
You copywriting us for Boy West Coast?
No, dude, I think it's really cool though, cause like everyone in Brockhampton, like one of them has the hooks, the others talks about. Is it? You just gotta go check them out. Please go check my band.
So for a Mild High Club, would you say they have like a bit of a Stevie Wonder vibe?
No, they're okay.
When you say funky,
just put together a song.
Funky might not have been a good description of it. It's just that the bass line is very it's very groovy. I like it, but it's not. It's not funky in the sense of Stevie Wonder. It's very mellowed out. Like you can kind of. I don't do this, but if you want to like get high, it sounds like this song you get high to.
Yeah.
Like Tame Impala, you ever listen to them?
They're similar to Tame Impala in a way. That's a good comparison.
You ever listen to them?
No.
I've heard Tame
I don't know.
That's like some existential music.
This ain't
You floating in the
field.
pool.
Yeah. They're very similar to Pink Floyd.
Ooh, okay.
They're like a Pink Floyd meets Tame Impala.
What's the other band that's like?
And now it's on
Floyd?
marijuana. So.
Yeah, they're called Mild High
Wiz Khalifa.
Club.
Yeah.
Instead of Mile High Club, it's a play on words.
That's
like a
pretty-
Mild High.
So
Club.
they're mildly high.
Yeah, it's a very
Oh, I thought it meant like mild, like 1 mile.
Mild?
Like MILET.
1 mild? Is that what you-
1 mile.
God, yeah.
I read
Okay,
it
well,
wrong.
check out Mild High Club. I'll play them for you guys after this, and then also Mac DeMarco. Have you guys heard of him?
Wait. Is he the new singer for Queen?
No,
That's some other dude?
that's I forget his name.
Mark something.
I forget. He lost American Idol a couple years.
He
back.
did?
He was.
But he's still the
second
singer for him, right?
place. I forget his name. I if you told me, I'd be like, oh yeah, but I can't think of it. off the top of my head.
He has a really similar voice to Freddie Mercury. It's pretty crazy.
Let me see. I'm trying to figure out the album I was talking about, but Mac DeMarco, he's very.
I feel like I've heard.
You probably have, dude. He
sounds
he's
very
more
familiar.
well known than I'd say Mild High Club, but they're both kind of similar in types of songs.
How do you spell that? M-A-C-K?
M-A-C.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
I got you.
he's like a.
Chamber of Reflection.
He plays guitar.
The heck?
It's a more mellow type of.
Salad Days.
Yeah,
I feel like I've heard
Mac
his
DeMarco.
name somewhere.
might have been from me. I don't know, but yeah, they're very. Mac DeMarco, he's got some good songs.
Bro, you ever hear like those like
dude, that's actually a really cool album
Yeah,
cover.
dude,
Yeah.
that album
High
is
Club.
really good. That whole album.
Bro, this is like they've only released 2 albums. Like that's quite a while ago.
This one, I think they're working on something new. Maybe it's released, but this album, Skip Tracing, oh my god,
really good.
the first 2 songs go into each other. They're probably the 2 most popular ones. The first 2 are really good.
How'd you
It's Skip Tracing and Homage are the first 2.
how'd you find them?
Oh man, how did I find them?
it's like radio.
That's like a huge story.
I actually don't know because they don't get much radio play. Actually, I think it was radio.
Like Spotify radio.
I think it
Or
was
the actual radio.
I listened to the
XM.
jazz station one day.
Oh, okay.
Because they're kind of jazzy in a way too.
Yeah,
Not on the nose jazz or like actual jazz, but it's kind of little bit. But it wasn't like normal jazz. It was like I think we were done playing at Beard one night, and I think at late night they put on weird stuff.
Yeah.
sometimes.
Oh yeah. That
And
weird stuff.
one time they said, "Oh, like we're putting on like our like I don't know what the thing was for the night, but they were playing stuff that was
Mellow.
mellowed out, and they put on Mild High Club, and I was like, dude, this is good. And I held down Spotify or whatever to see what it was.
See, I never understood why that station does that. Because like, if you're like looking for a mellow night, it's along the line of jazz. I'm thinking like trios. You know, like Nat King Cole, a lot of his old trio stuff, or
Dude,
like bar jazz, or like New York bar jazz, or
Chet Baker.
yeah, Chet Baker, Harry Connick Jr. I know Michael Bublé releases a couple good ones, but but then I never understood that. But I'll take a look at Mild High Club.
Is there any artist that you guys listen to? Like, I'll give an example right now. I really liked Coldplay back in like the late 90s when they wasn't even the album Parachutes. They had like this really kind of like soft tone to them, like really chill.
Songs, yeah.
And now they've just like I wouldn't say going into. No, they haven't fallen. They're still popular, but they don't do what they did back then.
Oh yeah,
they do more like pop stuff. The singer,
everyone's
his name
trying
Chris.
to do pop stuff now because it's
Chris Martin, the singer. Like he used to have this really soft voice, and now he's like just.
I wouldn't say there's anybody that I listen to that has happened with. Maybe.
Is there just anyone that just kind of faded out because they changed their style?
Faded. Probably Kanye. I would say. I know we were talking about that earlier.
Was that when he released like 6 songs? It was like I'm bipolar. Or it's called Yay, right? It was just called Yay.
Which one?
I'm like the album cover. It's like I'm bipolar. It's awesome.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Bro, we come from so many different.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I'll probably find it after the episode's done. But there was one. I can't find it. Kendrick Lamar is featured on it though, and it's surprising because it would seem like something he's featured on, but I think it might be time to move on to the other stuff we're going to talk about. We've been talking about music for a while. We'll probably do another music episode. Like
I'd love to go into this like a 2-hour thing.
Yeah,
music. There's just so much that we can go on.
We can go on for much longer, but
yeah, for sure.
I mean,
and you could even like concentrate on different genres. Like
yeah, bro, it's huge.
So who were the people you said to recommend?
Brockhampton. There's some other. Hold up. Everyone pull up your phones because I gotta look at like my Spotify really quick.
Dang, you don't know your catalog off the top of your head?
But I have like 1,400 songs.
Ooh, I found another one I wanted to say.
That's interesting.
Alright, I would go check out Brockhampton for sure. He's kind of more like popular, but Gold Link, and then Forest for sure.
Is that an artist?
Yeah, dude, he makes some really chill music. We're probably gonna like share all this afterwards, but yeah, those are my 3 artists.
I would say, like I said, check out this band called Kolohe Kai. They're like islander reggae type music. Let's see who else. There's this one band called Lawrence, and the lead singers are brother and sister. Like that's just the name. They're just called Lawrence. And they make stuff that has like a Stevie Wonder type vibe. I'll show you them after this because I know you'd like them. But yeah, they have like good upbeat music with those two.
Okay, well for mine, I'm going Mac DeMarco. What was the other one I was saying? Oh, Mile High Club. Yeah. And then a last one that I just remembered. This is a band. This is a band. They're called Vacations. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you would like them, Jaden, because they don't know if they're your type of thing. They're kind of mellowed out too. They're more so alternative. I think they're similar to like the type of bands that people label as alternative. It's kind of similar to Mac DeMarco in a way, but Mac DeMarco is more, I think, mellowed out for a lot of his stuff.
They sound really cool. Like Mac DeMarco, I think of like just like a Sam Smith singer. But to me, it sounds like he's I don't know, the way you're describing him. I'm really interested.
More, I don't know. He's hard to describe. I feel like on the spot, I can't think of any comparison, but I'm sure there's a comparison for everybody. Because everyone has influences that they try to make their own style from. But all of my 3 are very similar in style, but they all have their own things as well. Yeah. So those are my 3.
All right, well, we got like about less than 6 minutes. Oh, do you want to talk about like music videos really quick?
Music videos? before we go into
before we go into the last 30 minutes of like just movies.
Okay.
What's your... Okay. Recently...
Cool music.
Have you guys ever watched Travis Scott music videos?
No. Sicko Mode was a cool music video.
That was
despite
cool.
the song,
I think Travis Scott has a really cool style with his music videos.
No, the visuals within that music video.
It's like tripping acid. I mean, I wouldn't. If I were to trip acid, I'd imagine a Travis Scott video is exactly what.
Dude, no, like that.
You know that scene from Doctor Strange where he's just like going through all that, and like you know what I mean?
That wasn't even that trippy though. I thought. I didn't think it was
even more. Just with like color grades everywhere.
Jaden said it ain't even that trippy.
I didn't think.
I don't know what this beat be doing.
I'll be getting high before.
DMT, y'all ever heard of DMT? No, just kidding.
DMT.
Oh man, dude, I haven't. Now that you mentioned music videos, I haven't watched a music video in a while. Actually, we just saw Earthquake.
Earthquake, yeah. We just watched it before this.
We haven't even talked about that, dude. I actually like that album. You guys haven't listened to the whole thing?
You like the whole album?
When I first listened to it, I think every time with Tyler's music, more newer ones. Yeah. When I hear the pitched up vocals. At first, I kind of don't like it at first, and I think it kind of sounds kind of corny, kind of kiddish. but then it kind of, when you listen to the whole thing, it kind of
fits in.
And
I probably should finish it because
it's a type of album that you really need to sit down, press play, and just listen to the whole thing because it
tells a story.
It tells a story. It's like I said, it's a breakup album. If you listen to it, he goes back and forth between like wanting to stay with this girl or like this guy, and
yeah, we don't know if he's gay or not.
I guess, but I mean, regardless, it's whoever he's dating or whoever, because there's obviously something going wrong in it, and then it's just like they want to break up, and then it's like, oh, but like, no, I love you, and then it kind of goes back and forth, and at the very end, like the last song is called like Gone, and then or Gone, that's a really good one, and then the last one's called like I Don't Love You Anymore.
So is it like in
and then the last song is called like Are We Still Friends or something like that.
Is that chronological order?
If you start from go through the whole thing, like track 1 to like track 13 or whatever. It's pretty good. There's actually a lot of good songs on it.
I know you and I remember a while ago we were having a conversation about Tyler the Creator. It was quite a while ago, and I know you were talking about like ever since he first started making music, like you can tell like he's been progressing musically. Like we saw that in Flower Boy.
It's like, crazy how he's went from
like, you can hear like the piano in the music, like
because like the album that came out before Flower Boy was Cherry Bomb. And
I thought that was pretty cool.
A lot of people liked it. A lot of people were kind of hated on it, and I think what's weird is he started releasing the instrumentals to Cherry Bomb, or like little like things before the actual song, and dudes were, as soon as it was on the Flower Boy hype, everyone was on them like, oh my god, release this. And then he's like I've already released this, like this is the instrumental, and so it was kind of exposing the people that hopped on the train. But it just shows that in that album, although I think Cherry Bomb did have its things, like its mixing was very
talking about Tyler.
Yeah,
what I was saying is his Cherry Bomb, it actually had
I'm sorry. Continue.
You think about
Shut up.
I forgot her name. She's MIA right now. You know?
I see what you did there. I'm pretty good.
Anyway. leave that in. That was clever, bro. Leave that in there. No, Cherry Bomb. I liked it. It was different. It was, and a lot of people say it's kind of like, I think Cherry Bomb is similar to Igor, the newest one, in terms of mixing. But I think the reason why Igor is mixed like this is because it's showing how.
I mean, look at the songs on.
What do you mean by like mixed?
Like the way the music's mixed. Like that was people's problem with Cherry Bomb. They were like, it's very distorted. It's like the music. A lot of times you gotta have the vocals higher at a certain pitch than the music, so you could hear what they're saying. But a lot of times it was kind of like this. You know what I mean? So. And I think it was meant to be like that. I think Cherry Bomb was meant to be a very like loud, like banging album. And Flower Boy was his first one where I think he kind of proved after Cherry Bomb, like I can mix an album. You know, I can make this genre of music. I can make it sound good, and that's where he really showed off his actual musical talent, and not just like lyrics or like beat. It was musical talent,
and it's cool because it's not like it's not like bangers, but it's like he's like mellowing out.
Yeah, and Flower Boy's mixed incredibly well. It's produced incredibly well.
It has like an R&B vibe in some of the songs, like Boredom.
Very good,
dude.
That's why Igor,
those are one of the songs I really. Dude, Rex Orange County. You ever listen to them?
Yes,
dude. Whoa.
They are good.
I think
he's good, isn't it, a guy?
I think
it's two guys because they have an album cover where it's like one dude on the piano, one dude singing. It might be
that
two
was.
dudes.
I think I could wait. I know one song that is like pretty popular is "Loving Is Easy," and that's what got me into them.
Yeah, I heard that on the radio too, bro.
But then I've been trying to listen to him more so now because I know like "Loving Is Easy" is like his is like the one that's most popular. So I've been trying to get into him a little more because. Yeah, there's
just so many people to listen to.
Yeah. Well, what is he like? Would he fall under alternative or?
They'd probably put him under alternative, just knowing how people label music.
Yeah,
I guess they put.
There's no like, there's a right way, but like with stuff that's like subjective, like that's alternative.
They just throw it in alternative.
It's a word throwaway.
Whatever. No, yeah. Well, pretty much what I'm saying is, I think the reason why Igor is mixed. I think after Flower Boy, since it came out after, I think Flower Boy was a kind of a way for him to say, like, oh yeah, I know how to mix an album. I know how to actually make it sound good. And because of that, I think Igor's mixed purposefully to be, it's kind of similar to Cherry Bomb. It's not as loud as Cherry Bomb, but I think it's mixed in the way it is to where it sounds kind of loud at times and like more quiet at other times. It's I think it's mixed like that because the album is kind of about like
emotions,
a
pretty
conflicting emotional like breakdown into a relationship.
Oh, so he was like also using the music to tell the story.
You can really tell it. I think, at least me personally, when you listen to it, I've listened to it like 2 times, and I
whole
think
album.
The second time I think I got more of that music, how the music kind of really fits in with how the lyrics are going and like the emotions that are going through, and yeah,
that's one thing about music too. Like with artists, is that like if it's a really good artist, they'll put like a really good message into it.
Yeah.
And what I've like never really always liked is that like the artists sometimes don't always like reveal the message. So now you got to do digging on your own.
Yeah, a lot of people are very subjective as well.
Yeah.
They don't, a lot of people, I feel like, I don't know, like no one, I'm not dissing nobody or like, I'm not even thinking of anyone top of my head, but people, they'll let fans say something and then they'll be like, yeah, that's what I meant. And it's just like,
yeah.
Did you though? Like, you know, but I mean, anyway.
So like with his message, do you think it's like something that he's actually going through, or is it just?
It may have been. I don't know.
It seemed like he like made this character up. I mean, in the earthquake video,
he has a lot of characters.
Yeah.
If
So
you listen to all his music, like
Yeah.
now there's Igor in the Wolf album, like his second studio album, his third album. He has like a character like named Wolf, a character named like Sam, a character named like
the TCU or the Tyler.
Dude, he has a lot of
the
characters.
Tyler Cinematic Universe.
No, be
TCU.
the music universe.
Yeah, he had and then, oh man, it is in Goblin. He has the dude. The deep voice is supposed to be like his therapist.
Oh,
Who's,
I like that. Did you ever hear that song? It's like Martian.
Oh, Martian.
With the game.
Oh yeah, with the game.
Have you seen that? There's a music video for that. He's like,
I've seen the music video.
he's like tied in this like. No, they're like in this
A
mental
straight
hospital.
jacket.
Yeah, and he's like inside this cell and he's just like rapping. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I
It's
think
really.
one of his characters is from the Loiter Squad Cribs video.
Oh yes, that is one of his characters.
Wait, what's that? What's his name?
I know his name. I can't say.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's just
Oh,
just
yeah.
young.
Yeah,
It's
young.
young.
My wrist so cold. Yeah.
Yeah, we got the rocket launch.
Cause Young always got the burner.
That dude's sleeping on.
Yeah, all
That's
he
my
do
boy
is
D. He's just sleep. That's all he do.
That's all he do.
Anyway.
Expensive.
The
Y'all gotta get the fuck up out of here.
like the musty book.
The musty.
What's the name of the cat?
Darnell.
Darnell. Yeah.
Darnell was a friend of mine who wrote the musty.
Remember his
Check out
like,
Loiter Squad's MTV Cribs video. I'll put a link in the description.
gotta remind you, bro.
All these links in the description, man.
That's a funny.
Do you guys remember what you said? I gotta remember.
All the
what
links? Oh, there
Yeah,
was,
I remember.
when you said we were going to put 3 artists from each of us in the description.
I said
to
Leon.
check out.
I know the three.
Did you say Leon Bridges?
I did. Yeah. That was before.
I remember mine.
Yeah.
Anyway, Nick, if I were you, I'd edit this part out. Since I want to tell you this, edit this out. But I would edit it to where what we just talked about music videos. Edit it in a way where you cut that before we talk about our last 3, so you can end it off with the final 3.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll talk about it more after, but
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. So,
All right. So going into more movies.
we got some movie news.
There's a lot of movies coming out,
movies.
bro.
Yeah, man.
I'm really excited because like one of my 3 favorite directors, Edgar Wright's making a film. He did Baby Driver. Christopher Nolan's having one. It's called Tenet.
Instead of
They just released the name. Someone said supposedly it's like another time travel thing. You know, he likes to mess with
so it's
time.
gonna be one of those trippy movies.
It's like where you,
Did he do Interstellar?
yeah.
Dude,
That was dope.
Christopher
Did you watch
Nolan-
Interstellar?
Yeah, I love that movie. Christopher Nolan is really good at making like trippy movies.
He always writes it with his brother, dude.
Have you seen The Prestige?
No, I
Dude,
didn't see
it is such a. Y'all need to watch it. Like you're gonna watch it, and it's about these magicians. But once you get to the end, you're gonna be like, "What the hell?" And you're gonna start connecting the dots, and it's just.
You ever
it's
seen
such a
Memento?
good one. No, I haven't.
I feel like I've talked about this before, but it's like, this
Is it
guy.
another Christopher Nolan?
Yeah,
Okay.
this guy with short-term memories trying to like find out how his wife died, and like if you look out the map, I'll try to like put it up here. But if you look out the map of how the movie's told, it goes backwards. So it's like just picture like a circle, and like on the outside are like the events that happen, and the inside are like the ones he forgets, and then like it all just comes full circle in the end, and it's really cool.
Really?
It's a really interesting way to tell.
Christopher Nolan's really good at doing those trippy type movies.
Yeah,
but
it's
I would also recommend Prestige, link in the description.
Our Amazon affiliate link.
Our description is going to be really long.
Make sure to click the Amazon link that pays us.
Now, who else? Oh, Tarantino is coming out with that.
Yeah. That was
Once Upon a Time.
That was one of the topic points. Mm-hmm. Did you see the newest trailer?
I saw the trailer. Yeah,
the one that was just.
I'm confused because it seems to be about a stunt guy and some washed up actor, but it's also about like the Ted Bundy.
No, Charles Manson.
Oh,
Charles Manson.
Same shit.
I'm kind of disappointed. I wanted it to be a Charles Manson movie, but it seems like that's more of a subplot.
Really?
I don't know. That's what it seems like. Or does it seem like that's more of the main plot?
I don't know. I kind of thought the trailer didn't tell enough about the story, so I couldn't really...
There was like one part in the trailer where like Brad Pitt's like coming out of a house, and he's like the
Brad
stunt
Pitt.
double, and like he looks behind him, and like there's those...
It's got all the Manson
those
family.
teens are... Yeah, I'm
it's
like...
It's called the Manson family.
I'm like...
That's their name.
Oh, they're like a cult, right?
It's like a cult. He got all these young teens to like run away with him, and...
They just kill people in the house.
They kill people for him.
Bro, we should do a whole episode on conspiracy. That get wild.
But yeah,
who's the main actor? Is Leonardo?
Dude, Leo and Brad, that's a power couple, bro.
Be...
I've never seen them in a movie.
Yeah.
Leo, he's a really good actor.
So...
You ever see Django?
Of course I saw Django.
Put your hands on the table, son. He like smashes his hand.
Yeah, so I think, I don't know, it's confusing because... the way it was pitched to me when I first heard he was making this movie is they wrote it, the article, whatever I read, it said Quentin Tarantino is making a movie based on the Charles Manson murders. And
so you thought it was going to be like what the remake of Ted Bundy with Zac Efron?
I thought it was going to be something like that, but like a way
sometimes they loosely base off of it.
Yeah, and I do think it's loosely based off of it because I did some research, maybe I'm wrong, but
it's like all rumors.
The actor or the Brad Pitt, he's playing a character. I forget his name. It's supposed to be a stunt double, but when I looked it up, it's not a real guy. It's a fictional character.
Oh, really?
But the Leonardo DiCaprio? I didn't look his up.
It's Rick Dalton. This is Rick character.
Dalton. Here, I'll look it up. But
never forget.
Honestly, it's like with Tarantino. I think it's an original idea because like the first historical movie like Christopher Nolan did was like Dunkirk, and that was like about. Was it like the British soldiers being trapped on a beach?
I think they were trapped on a ship or something, but yeah.
They were like, they couldn't be taken home because like the ships couldn't come in.
Yeah. It was
and then he told it from different perspectives. Dude, I gotta say, when I watched that movie at first, I was like, this sucks. And like, I don't know why, it's Christopher Nolan. Then I watched it again and I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. But yeah, I think Tarantino's making an original idea. I wouldn't think he would do some historical movie. Just to, like,
for sure.
That's not him.
You think Christopher Nolan could ever film or direct an MCU movie?
No.
He wouldn't do it.
Yeah, you don't think so?
It would be like the Batman trilogy, and Disney would be like...
he doesn't... Because they would try to sign him on a contract.
He said he would never do another superhero movie unless Christian Bale was working with him. No, I'm not sure if he would not do another Batman movie.
Because Christian Bale was in
if Christian Bale did it with him, but Christian Bale said no. So he's just never going to do a superhero movie.
This is what I looked up and I found. It says, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is not a true story, but it does depict some famous real people. So it's fiction. Well, no. I think... because what happened...
Well, it's like... What's it called? Like semi... Is that even a genre? Semi-fiction?
Well, no. Like, for example, Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio's character is fiction. I looked it up. They're both fictional. Mm-hmm. So those two didn't... So that didn't happen. But what I think obviously did happen is the Manson stuff, Charles Manson. And they're showing... There's a list here of all the people. So obviously Sharon Tate, that's who Margot Robbie's playing. She was one of the people famously murdered by them. And what happened, it's very gruesome. I don't even know.
Oh, damn. Okay, when I saw the trailer, someone said in the comments, like, Sharon Tate dies. I was like, what the hell? I guess, like, she actually does that.
Dude, it's real life. This happened in real life, too.
I didn't know Sharon Tate.
I swear we talked about this on the first podcast. I was like, oh, yeah, she plays Sharon Tate. And you were like...
I didn't even hear about this 9th film, bro.
I swear I told you about it. I think we talked about it. Dude, I know we talked about it. But, and I think in the first one, I was like, yeah, so Margot Robbie's going to die.
Oh, you probably... For Suicide Squad.
Huh?
There's a lot of movies she's in.
In real life, I don't want to get into details, but she was killed while she was pregnant. She was like 9 months pregnant. The actual Sharon Tate. It was bad. Wow. And also Steve McQueen is here. He didn't die by then, but Steve McQueen's going to be in the movie apparently. He was a real life actor.
It sounds really gory and interesting.
And then
I'm sure they won't
right here is what's really interesting. So right here...
I mean, it's Tarantino, but
it's all of these people. So a lot of these people are real life people are It's showing like people that are like Charles Manson follower. But one thing you'll like, Jaden.
Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Dude.
I saw him. I was like, bro, Bruce Lee's in there?
Dude, the dude.
He looks a lot like him. Yeah.
He's got the act down, man.
No, but the one thing is, he's not as fast as him.
Okay, so closing thoughts on the Hollywood movie.
I mean,
Once Upon a Time.
Long story short, I'm guessing. This is what I want. I want it to be based on the Charles Manson murders because those happened, but I want it to be like, okay, since these two people that Brad Pitt and DiCaprio are playing are fictional characters. Are you having fun on that?
I mean, it's obviously Once Upon a Time. It's not real. Wasn't that a Once Upon a Time in the West? That was a Western.
I don't know. All I know is I'm hoping that those two characters, they have a run-in with them, obviously, and I think from there I think it'll be more so fictional, but I think it'll have like, you know, some of that non-fiction, you know, the real life stuff.
Kind of like Django.
Yeah, a little bit like that.
That film's fire.
I don't know. It's definitely very interesting.
Was Candyland a real place historically? In Django?
You ready for Bruce?
Candyland was a ranch that Michael Jackson had.
That's
No,
never.
no,
No,
it's
never
never.
ever.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
It was a ranch. It wasn't even a ranch. It was just his mansion.
Oh man, dude, Nick out here.
No, Bruce Lee. He looks.
Nick out here, wow.
The guy who's playing Bruce Lee in that film. It's respect, bro.
Yeah, I feel you.
Oh no, like I said, he's just not as fast as Bruce Lee.
I mean, I think he's more of a lookalike.
Yeah.
Well, he's
I mean,
obviously,
yeah,
there's
he does-
no way
he does-
has the same amount of skill as Bruce Lee did in that
Obviously.
sense.
Bro, you ever see Enter the Dragon, dude? When he goes to the island and fights
Yeah.
people,
I
dude.
thought Jaden was going to say, no, I ain't seen it. I was going to be
Nah.
like, bro, how you ain't seen Jaden?
You ever see-
Just because I'm Asian?
What's the name of the one where he works his way up? Is it like Big
That's
Big
a
House?
Game of Death.
No, it's like where he fights that like 8 foot tall.
Yeah, Cream. That's a Game of Death.
Nick acting like he know.
Yeah, you don't.
I brought him.
I grew up with
Gonna have to
culture.
get a new.
I grew up
it's like, I grew up with the Bruce Lee. You really acquired it.
You have the pop, right?
I was born with it.
No, I've always wanted a Bruce Lee pop though.
Molded
They're
by
really rare. There's one of him from Enter the Dragon where he's in the black pants and he's shirtless and he has the scratch across his stomach.
Yeah.
And there's one from Game of Death in the yellow
That
jumpsuit.
movie's dope.
Yeah. Bro, how'd he die?
Oh, damn. It was some type of sickness, but he was like in his late 30s, early 40s. He was really young. I can't remember. It might have been like bronchitis or something. I don't know.
I pour one out for the boy.
Messes up all the gear. Oh,
His son Brandon Lee did some movies too, and I think he died young too. But yeah.
Anyway, I mean, back to other movie news. We got the trailer for It, Chapter 2.
See that?
I thought that was.
I wanna see it.
Yeah, we
When does it
saw
come out?
Together. Remember?
When does it
Us?
come out?
All of us saw it together.
That's right. That's right.
We were gonna go with like dates. Nick brought Monique. You brought Taylor, but Taylor couldn't get in. Remember?
Yeah, that's right.
And,
And Katya.
yeah.
Oh, for the first
And
one?
Cody, I think.
A lot of people couldn't. We were gonna bring a good amount of people. They couldn't get in, and I remember. I was gonna invite Emily to it, and I ended up not because I remembered she was younger than everybody, and I was like, "Yo," and then I was like, "Hang on, like, isn't Jaden's girlfriend like 16 too?" And I was like, "Is that Cody?" And
They were really checking.
everybody, and I was like, everyone was saying, "No, they ain't gonna check," and I was like,
Yeah, we should have.
because I mean, they don't check normally, but since it was opening night, it was opening weekend, I think.
Yeah.
So opening weekend for a rated R movie, they're gonna check, you know, just because it's opening. After that, they might not check. You know, next week, the week after that, you know. But since it was the opening one and it was a movie like It, I was like, they're gonna check. So I remember, I think I talked to Emily about it, but I was like, you know, I don't think they'll be able to get in. And then I ended up telling her after how.
Dude,
I remember I was like, I felt bad for Taylor because
I had
she,
no.
she got
Dude,
kicked back to the
yeah.
front, and then Jaden just like walked in, and I was like, "Yo, are you just gonna ditch him?" And you were like, "Bro, she can't get
Bro,
in."
he ain't
That's
gonna
her-"
miss the movie.
He was like,
No.
he's like, "Bro, that's her fault." And you're like,
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But I remember she was still trying to get in when we were already
they were
in our
trying to
seats.
finesse.
Yeah. And
They were always
I had
trying-
no idea what to do. Like I felt really bad. I was just like, "What?"
She
do I
said
do?
it was
What do I
fine.
do?
She was like, it's fine. Just go see it.
Didn't they go? They got someone to come pick him up, and they left. But
Dude, no. The first time I saw that movie though, it was like almost ruined because the whole time I was thinking, I was like, "Dude, like what the fuck?"
Yeah.
Like I should have just left. Like I felt
Yeah.
like beyond bad. Like I didn't know what to do. It was like
it was literally like you, me, and then Nick and Monique.
I couldn't even focus on the movie. I mean, I thought it was really good, but I just
I feel
couldn't
you.
focus
Yeah,
on it.
yeah. That's. See, I didn't want to be thinking like that. That's
Yeah.
why I was, you know, like.
We
But-
should have thought about that too. That's on us.
Yeah, but I mean what I think is interesting about this trailer is it seems like a scene from the movie. It's like one scene from the movie, and then at the end they show like 20,
trailer,
25, 30-second clips. And it looks, I don't know, it looks more of the same, to be honest. It's I mean, I'm interested to see, do you think they're gonna have the first one had the kids, and like the first movie they made on it, in the book they go back and forth, and they kind of like, you know, they do the whole story with how they're kids and then they're adults. Do you think this one's going to be them as adults the whole time, or do you think that they're going to have flashbacks to either unused footage or the kids came back for stuff, or do you think it's going to be all adults the whole time?
It's probably gonna jump back and like reveal stuff that we didn't know from the first one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, but I think it'll be primarily the adults this time.
Yeah.
And
I think, and there was at the end of that trailer too. There was another kid.
you saw the light, and
Yeah.
and he like.
I was thinking, was that like one of their like children that they happen to bring, or was like that just another dairy kid?
I'm trying to think, because I think I've read parts of the book. I don't know if they have any kids, or if any of them have kids.
I wish like a second trailer came out, because we really only got like that teaser.
Yeah, it's primarily a.
Sorry, our cameraman in the back is technical difficulties.
Dude wildin'. Alright, just cut that out, Nick.
We just like,
And we cut this out too.
Dude,
oh my god.
it's like I said, it's primarily just one short clip, and at the clips it looks interesting. Dude, the old lady's in the back, like she got crip walking around.
Yeah, she.
But that whole thing where
So
she
weird.
says like her dad came, I think that's not actually it, because it's like an interdimensional being. I think he's just messing
Maybe
with
just took
her.
Oh shit!
Well, I don't
you're
think he
right.
actually like came back and like had a daughter. I don't think it's. I think that.
Yeah, it's probably.
I think he's just.
As soon as she got into the house, I was like, "Oh shit, this is an illusion."
I think all of that in there was crafted by him.
Because if you look, I was watching a rundown of the whole trailer, but in the trailer there's a name on that door. I think it's on that door, and it changes. It's from like
that
Hirsch
happens in the
to
book.
Hirsch or
I
something.
think it happens in the book.
It happens in the original one too.
And then
it changes,
she looks down and she said, "What the heck?" And then it's because it says Marsh at first.
Marsh, yeah.
Her
then
name.
it changes.
And then it's
to
what the heck?
Hirsch.
And then it's like whoever.
What's your name again?
the-
Marsh.
Beverly Marsh.
Yeah, it
Beverly
changes.
Marsh, that's
But yeah, you gotta watch the trailer. It changes. So
Yeah,
that
Nick, you gotta watch it.
so that old lady must be
See,
like, actually playing.
We're supposed to be talking about stuff that we've seen.
I've seen
actually-
it.
have
I've
you
seen
seen
it
it?
twice.
You seen it?
The old lady's like,
It sounds like this dude's not really.
Well,
hiding-
you gotta write. You gotta watch the explanation videos.
I don't think he's really hiding anything.
I just see
in the
some.
conversation.
Bro,
I think we
I just
should take over.
We might need to.
All right, so John,
you
let
can
me
be
head
my
out.
new co-host.
I'm out.
No, anyway, it looks good.
I'm excited for. When does it come out? September 29th.
Yeah.
It's like 2 years
Yeah,
after.
what we should do, we should see it again. At this time, everyone's of age.
of course.
It's like we're all grown up now. It's been 2 years.
Well, last time you and Monique were of age, I was of age. Jaden was of age. Everyone else wasn't.
Yeah.
So this year we.
Oh yeah, Cody wasn't of age.
Yeah.
Bro, that theater was
Dang.
great. I mean, it wasn't like.
I saw the movie a second time, like a month or two later, with Emily, and she didn't want to see it. She was, dude. It was.
Was she scared?
I ain't trying to expose, but it was like you're me. Oh yeah, I was sitting on the left, she was on the right, and she was just like this, like
The whole time?
the whole movie. She wasn't even facing the screen.
Oh my God.
She had like her head like this, and I was like, Emily, like a good seat's coming. Look, and she's like, I ain't looking. I was like, fam, and then she'd be like,
We're gonna have to drop her social media in the description for people to roast. Nah, I'm just kidding.
drop your roast down below.
No.
Are we dropping that?
I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. No,
Bro,
but
that's like a waste of money.
no,
You just bought a whole ticket.
Yeah, I just need to watch
we
it.
saw it when it was $1. We saw it when it was $1.
Pennywise.
God, dude.
She saw like the parts that weren't scary. So when the
Yeah,
kids were
yeah.
hanging out and stuff, it was any time she was like, "Oh, make something bad happen." You know, it was like, that.
There's some funny stuff where he.
Yeah.
Remember that scene where like what's his name, Ben? He's like in the basement and like he
he's
comes
egg
out of
boy.
the water. He's like,
Yeah.
But doesn't he say like he's like egg boy or something like that?
Yeah.
dude, that freaked me out on that headless thing. I want to see more of his like stuff to make people scared because it makes the audience.
I
Scared.
thought it was creepy when he came out of the fridge and he just like,
Oh, he was all broke. Yeah.
I'm not real enough for you. I like it.
He's like eating his hand. Oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was what he's like. Ah.
No, bro, that one scene when Ben's like getting his ass beat by those bullies and he's just in the bush like with the
Yeah,
with the
that was
hands.
fucking freaky.
Oh Lord.
Okay, yeah, I'm
So
excited for that.
I'm for sure.
I think no, because I know they're coming out. Like, all right, so this is a Stephen King novel, and then they're also coming out with Child's Play, which is it another Stephen King story?
No.
No,
Or is it?
no.
Okay.
Chucky's
well, I
not
know. There's another.
Chucky is a milked series that should have ended.
Well, there's another.
With
Stephen
all those other
King.
Chucky,
ones.
the Child's Play original ones, like I think the first 3 are still horror, and then they were like, let's make it comedic, and then they just
Really?
no,
Yeah, then they gave him a wife and a son.
if you watch
and he's like,
those,
fucking die, bitch.
if you watch those ones, they're so stupid. They're not even, they can't be legitimate
Considered,
horror
yeah.
movies. They're obviously like satire, like they're joking.
Let me see how many
Well,
there
aren't
are.
they releasing? There's another Stephen King.
Well, they've released Pet Cemetery already.
That one, yeah.
I'm reading the book right now, so don't.
Bro, you think they're
spoiled
coming out
it.
with the Stephen King cinematic universe?
Dude, what
SKCU.
He's been
Oh,
asking.
man.
He's been establishing that, bro.
Everyone's trying to do
The,
that.
you know the Dark Tower? I never saw that movie, but it's supposed to be like
Yeah.
the thing that connects
Apparently in it.
everything.
Yeah, and then apparently I didn't see the movie either, but in the trailer, in the
It's
trailer,
like I didn't see it, but
in the trailer you can see, because when the kid goes over to whoever the Dark Tower or whatever, the other universe, when he goes over there, there's like a broke down like area where there's like trash, and one of the things says Pennywise's Circus or something like that.
Oh, really?
So that's pretty.
so the first one,
So
the
there's
first
a Stephen
Chucky was
King
called
cinematic
Child's Play.
universe.
yeah, Child's Play 1.
This one actually looked kind of scary. Like, when
They're
I saw the
going-
trailer, I was like, "This is a."
They're going for like a more like robotic,
Okay.
like modernized, like
Yeah,
oh,
they're
this is
saying-
your home security.
they're
They're trying to
saying-
mess with that kind of like
Because
AI.
they're saying like, oh, like since it's a doll, like nowadays dolls are like
The
they're
brain.
adding technology to it, so you can connect it to this, you can connect it to
So-
that. So because of that means Chucky's gonna be able to like control a lot of things.
So this one's gonna be a lot like more horror. You think? I think it might be.
it
from
looks
what
scary. I mean, I like
Oh,
the
that's
casting.
crazy.
I really like Aubrey Plaza.
Mhm.
She's a really good actress. She's in the show called Legion. If you guys have
Is that the one with that angel superhero?
It's a superhero show, but it's the
Isn't-
hero's Legion. It's in the comics. Legion is the son of Professor X.
Yeah, he's in like an X-Men. Right?
Yeah, that show is really good. Season 3 is dropping
like
soon.
trippy.
Check it out.
Link in bio.
Link in the description. Another one.
There's gonna be a lot in the description of this podcast.
But honestly, watch.
Let's just plug our
It's
Instas while we're at it.
Legion.
Oh shit! What'd you do?
I think I accidentally stepped on his tail. My bad.
His toe.
His tail.
I have to edit that out.
Just leave it in there, bro.
Just leave it in there. God, dude, I feel
Abused
bad.
dog. It's fine, bro.
I picked up my foot and then I like repositioned and then I guess I stepped on his tail.
How am I gonna edit that, bro? I can't just edit that.
You can edit that out, man.
Link in the description.
Support dog abuse.
Oh man, he wants to get out now.
Okay.
Alright, hold on. We gonna have to edit all this.
We gotta edit all this out, bro. One like equals one prayer for Sam.
We got PETA in the description.
Yeah.
Bro, Peter, they don't.
Humane
Oh
Society.
yeah,
link in
PETA's
the
been like
description.
doing some stupid things I've seen. So I didn't talk about this.
Okay.
I know. You're about to go something.
Hold on.
Okay, so
What were we
Child's
talking about?
Play.
Child's Play.
Legion.
Watch Legion. Dude, Legion's really good.
Yeah. You told me you and Cody said it's like
so
trippy.
good. Well, Cody ain't watch it, bro. Cody
said he watched it?
Cody White, bro. He ain't watching it.
You're watching YouTube.
I got Emily into watching it. We watched like the first. There's like, I think there's only 6 or 7 episodes in the first season, but the first one is like an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really good. It's a good show. I would, if you like stuff like Interstellar and stuff like The Prestige, where it sounds like in that one you piece everything
trippy,
together.
yeah. Is it like
it's
that?
like that, man.
In each
It's-
episode or overall?
Oh, the whole thing, dude. You're piecing stuff
Really?
together the whole time.
Wow.
It's really good.
That's
you got
crazy.
You got
Yeah, that's
flashback,
crazy.
dude. It's
What's
I
it
would-
on? Like HBO?
It's
Amazon?
FX. But you can. I think I have season 1 on DVD, and
I just pirate that. Link in bio.
In the description.
Are we putting all this? Because now we're kind of just saying you're free.
you gotta
And now I'm gonna have to put that in.
legitimate stuff in the
Yeah,
description.
I know what to put in.
Okay, we'll let Jaden do it.
I don't
No,
know.
Josh is doing that now.
Oh yeah,
He's uploading, so that's all on Josh.
Josh is doing the tags.
okay. Anyway, Child's
So
Play
much stuff.
We got a team.
Link
going.
bio. Yeah.
looks good. Interested, we'll watch it.
Yeah.
It's almost been like 40 years since the first one.
For real, it's been that long.
Yeah, because the first one came in '88. It's almost 2019. It is 2019.
Oh dang!
So I don't know.
It's practical.
I hope it's good. I like they're going for more practical effects because
30
like
years, bro, not 40.
no 88.
88, 98, 2008, 2018, 30.
It's about 30, yeah. Okay.
Bro, you totally skip.
I didn't skip. You're skipping.
All right, so 88.
No, you can't include 88.
Yeah, you can't.
Oh
start
yeah, it's
off.
like 30. All right,
Okay.
my,
So 89.
my
then you
math is
count.
off.
Yeah, all right. Drop that roast in the description on Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can do the math, link in button.
Like,
You
comment,
can't do-
subscribe.
Nick, I'll drop a link to an online calculator for you, Nick. In the description.
Why'd you put it in there for them?
They don't need it. I trust their math.
No, but I don't know. I'm excited for it. I like they're going for a more practical effects side of things.
Ooh, so you know Mark Hamill's voicing him?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
Oh.
It sounded really creepy. Yeah.
He's voicing Chucky.
Billy.
It was
Oh
really
man,
creepy.
he's a really good voice. I'm excited to hear it.
There's so much stuff he's like.
Dude, he's done a lot.
Joker.
People don't
obviously.
even know.
Yeah,
man.
obviously.
I think he was on regular show.
He did skips.
Yes.
Oh, he did the voice of Luke Skywalker.
Oh, that was, I don't think that was that big a role, honestly.
It was alright.
Skips was.
Skips was bigger.
Skips that OG.
Skips is the best.
Oh man.
His name was Watts.
I mean, talking about Mark Hamill, you think he's gonna have some type of influence in this next Star Wars, Rise of Skywalker?
Of course, bro. I thought they were gonna slowly fade out. No more Skywalker. Oh, there's a whole movie about
that's
it.
what they're talking about.
Well, this
They just need to do something different with this new. End this story.
one's
Give
gonna
us
end.
something new.
That was the last thing we were gonna talk about, right?
Yeah.
The Disney stuff.
You want to get into that?
We can save it for another one, or we can do it now if you want.
Well, what was the last movie? We can save that for like another one.
We already talked
That's a
about
whole.
it.
We've already talked about everything.
Let's do another episode.
You want to
I'll
just
take
end
this
it?
off.
Turn these inside out.
Yeah, turn them upside down.
Yeah, we can get into that in another one. We'll do next week's episode.
All right. We're gonna end it there. Check out all the links: the music,
Yeah.
the movies, the calculator.
The calculator, we're gonna put that in.
You gonna put that?
I'll put the calculator in there. I'll drop a link. I'm also going to drop a link to my channel. Make sure you go subscribe.
Yeah.
We're going to be uploading a few things on there, Nick. I got ideas.
You wanna do the cooking thing?
Yeah, we could do that. We could do a couple things. I want to bring my channel back.
I want to do cooking.
We could do stuff on my channel.
I wanna do cooking.
We could do whatever on my channel.
wanna do. What does Patrick say? In SpongeBob. Oh, kicking.
That could be that could be our next. I know you're talking about that our next podcast, like food. I don't know if you
Oh,
want to talk
man.
about.
How are we going to talk about food?
I don't know. Talk
My
about Gordon
favorite
Ramsay.
food. Yeah, we're gonna bring up Ramsey.
Yeah, we can't really talk about. We can't talk about Nick to that, bro. We have to have Nick off on that one because Nick is vegan now.
Oh, that's
We
true.
can talk about different types.
So
of
that just
grass.
discredits me
Nick's
completely.
vegan.
He's going to start talking
Yeah.
about different types of grass, bro.
Yeah,
There's only one
he's
type
been
of
on a new
grass.
diet for, and I guess he's trying to go vegan. Link in the description.
To help me.
I'll drop a link if you want to become vegan too. I'll put that link in the bio.
Yeah.
I think
All
that's
right.
it for the
Anyway,
episode.
That's it for the
You want
episode.
to sign us off, Nick? You want Jaden to do it? He's the guest.
All right. You want to? I don't know. It's fun really doing a lot of these. We're being a lot more chill and open in ourselves instead of like, so what's next? Like, we're just.
I know in upcoming, I have a couple ideas. Maybe food. I know that you just brought that
I
up.
want to do food. Honestly.
We'll be talking more about music and, of course, more films that are going to be coming out. We'll be hopefully getting into comics anytime soon.
Squadcast coming.
Squadcast is
Oh
coming
god.
soon.
The
We
10th
have-
episode.
yeah.
10th episode.
We have our
10th
last
episode?
member, Elijah.
We gotta save it. We gotta build.
Oh, by the way, we got the 10 subscribers. 10 subscribers
Oh,
special.
as of
coming.
now, we
Yeah,
just got
yeah.
10 subscribers. We're in the double digits now.
We're waiting for Elijah to
There's
get
no
back
turning
from
back now,
Maryland.
man.
There's no turning.
After
That
we'll
million
release
coming
Squadcast.
That million. We got a reward.
All right, yeah. Anyway, check out all the links in bio. My channel will be there. New content on there. Nick's channel as well.
We'll list it from like most important to the stupid thing.
All right.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for watching.